Hi. Hi, I'm Charlotte Qualls. I'm a nursing supervisor at Riverview Medical Center. And I was invited here, thank you very much, to take part in your charge nurse workshop, as I have done in the past, but not as recorded. Okay, so if I get calls, you could please excuse me. That is part of my work, which is like 70% of my job is answering phone calls from the charge nurse like you and from the staff. Okay. So, well, as a nursing supervisor, I would say I had loads and loads and loads of experience. I have a total of maybe 30 years of as a supervisor, both in New York. I started out in Mount Sinai Hospital as I took part as but they call it the nurse administrator there. And so all my years is a nursing supervisor. So I am here to talk about how you as a charge nurse and I could work together, or any supervisor, not just me. We cover the house like 24 hours. We work 12 hours each shift. So there's always supervisor from 8, not 7 like you start with, but from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the role of the administrative nursing supervisor? You know what you do in your units, right? As a charge nurse, or some of you may be just learning this. Some have taken the role of the charge nurse, but didn't get this official lecture or workshop, which makes you stronger or enhances your skills as a charge nurse. So now you have seen your charge nurse in your unit, or you have seen when you were the charge nurse, how you worked with the nursing supervisor. Here we call them administrative nursing supervisor. It could be anything. They call it different names in different hospitals. And so here we have administrative nursing supervisor. So my role is, and try to relate and think of what you do in your unit, because it's the same thing. You have your responsibility encompasses your unit. I encompass the whole hospital, and other outlying departments. Could be security, engineering, environmental, just to say a few. I can't think of everything right now. So what we are here for is to have that link, that critical link between hospital administration and clinical care. So because of that, what we do is that we oversee the patient care operations, which you also do as a nurse there, as a charge nurse. We look at the assignment and the monitoring of the staff. So we look at a whole, like, supports that you need. Do you have the X number or the appropriate number of nurses and PCTs or secretary? But we also look at float nurses, float staff, agencies, patient observers in all the shifts in the hospital. Of course, what we both work for is for patient safety and positive outcomes. Now, I'm going to tell you later the differences between the role of the administrative nursing supervisor on days and nights and weekends. All right. So I'm going to do this quickly, and then we're going to go to that part. We also look at budgeting. Everybody's aware of budgeting, from a nurse manager to you as a charge nurse. We're always saying, make sure we don't waste, let's say, materials we need. Okay. We don't put everything in the isolations, pack them with a lot of supplies, and then just throw them. That's what you and I look at. We try to see, do you need the overtimes? Do you need the staff nurse overtimes or the PCDs? You can ask me, I say, oh no, you don't need the overtime, because I have this agency that I could give you, or a per diem even, that can work for the overtime. The overtimers, of course, doesn't like that because they want to work, but we have to look at the hospital's expenditures and balance it. And then we try to identify and implement quality improvement. Everything we see. So it's not just your work, you know, sometimes we get so involved in what we do that we miss something, or there could have been opportunities for nursing improvements. And then we are here to make sure that policies, procedures, and protocols are enforced. We have them in the internet, but I know sometimes we're so busy that it's easier to ask the supervisor. And the supervisor, of course, I have to go into the internet then and look at it myself. But I think to make it to make you stronger with how you as a charge nurse teaches your peers, okay, who are not charged at that time on that day, become stronger if they know the protocols and policies themselves. Discipline, we are involved in that, but knowing that this hospital is not a punitive environment. So we are here, and I love this better. It's easier for me. I like it better when we teach you, okay, and we counsel you, and we like it when you can come to us if there's any problems or issues. We like to teach you and give you, let you grow and learn, and rather than punish and embarrass you. Okay, so make it a thing. You can always approach us. And the ultimate responsibility for everyone, for you and me, is that we try to have all of these things I'm doing and all of things you're doing, is to make sure that the hospital runs smoothly, the patients are being taken care of well. And like being a magnet hospital, we want to say, oh, we gave excellent care. And I know we do, okay? Just look at the number of Daisy winners that we have. That proves the kind of care that we give and how our patients appreciate us. And then we also want to make sure that we have patient safety, staff safety as well, while we do all this excellent work that we do. So common goals that we have, I already said it, patient safety and improve patient outcomes, main thing. Now, you know what's easy is that for charge nurses and supervisors, I know you love it if you work on days. I love it too. And that's not the reason why I moved to days now, because I work nights always been on nights. I like it on nights. This is going to be like, oh, because we can work together. There are no red tapes. I mean, you know, we could just, you call me or I call you, and together we could work out something as partners. Okay, it's easier if there's no middle, you know. It was like, you know, kind of thing. You know, we work things, and on nights the team is so close. When I work at here on nights, and there's always like at 5 South, there's always like dinners, oh, celebrating birthdays, or they'll call me, Charlotte, do you want to eat? I said, why? Well, we're celebrating this birthday. But anyway, I transgress. But my doctor says, Charlotte, you have to go on days because your health says so. So I went on days. And well, so the difference on days though is that you got your nurse managers, we got your environmental people, you got anything you need from materials management, it's there, right? Don't you like that? You got a lot of resources for you. And so that's what I see now too, so that I could just make my rounds and if needed. And you know that your first step to communication is your nurse managers or your educators, your assistant nurse managers. Now, on nights or the off shift now, when the managers step out of the hospital, go home, it's just me and you. So
I just stopped it for right now if you want to take that.
Sorry, Charlotte, they can help you. Alex. Ooh. Okay. 8 to 14. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks. Bye. How am I doing so far?
You're doing great, Charlotte.
Ugh,
You're doing
okay.
great. So want to restart and you can say, sorry, I just had to take that call if you want, and then
Okay.
continue where you were.
Where did you press that thing?
I got it. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, ready, set.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Where is it?
You're good.
Oh,
Good. Yep.
hi. Well, I'm back. No, am I? I apologize for that. As a nursing supervisor, I 70% of my work is being on the telephone, answering phone calls. Could be from codes. It could be you asking support, or you have questions from admitting, everybody. And I just did one, so I had to cut it, and now I'm back. So, what was I? Oh, on off shift and on weekends, you don't have your nursing leadership, you don't have your nurse managers, assistant nurse manager, you don't have your educators, you just have you, the charge nurse, and a supervisor. And so the supervisor then becomes your sole source of support. There are managers, some issues that you need to call your managers, or you feel more comfortable calling them. But always remember that we are here representing administration, so that if I could help you, or we could help you in any way, we are here. So from, I don't know, 6 p.m. maybe until the next morning, or on weekends, it's just you and me, babe. Anyway, so now here's some things that your support needs. First of all, security. A patient of yours get crazy, or a family comes in, drives you and a patient crazy, and you call security, or you call me. But I am there to offer you, again, any kind of advice and support. But if it's something that you think is going to become violent, I would suggest you call the security, and like security assist, and the security will be there instantly, and I will be there too. If you feel that it won't be that violent and that you could just ask me, then that's great. I would love to. Something just crossed my mind regarding that. Yeah. Okay. Just, went to my head and then out. So anyway, materials and supply needs. We have that. Our materials management doesn't stay beyond 5. And at least we got lucky that this year and a few months before that, we were able to get somebody to help us in materials management from 8 o'clock to 1 and sometimes 12. So if you need anything in your units, you call them. Before, everybody calls us for everywhere. So we are booking cases for the OR, units are calling us for supplies. So we're running around for that, but at least on that weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we got a break, and so that we don't have to go down from 8 to 1. Here's something though. When you ask us for any kind of supplies you need, I get a lot of calls for that. Anywhere from the Plurex or anything like even attached stockings, anything you need, they call me. And sometimes before you could get the supply you need, it takes longer. And listen, I'm thinking like, oh my God, they're gonna write me up for delay in treatment, or because I haven't given the things that you want. But the thing is, I am dealing with other stuff as well while trying to see about materials management for the units. And so the thing I wanted to ask you, if you needed something, is the supervisor is not the first line of action or call. One time I went running around and then got it and back, sent it to a unit, and they told me, oh, yeah, we found it in our cabinet. And no, I was like to myself, if somebody could just call me and say, no need, we found it, because I have a short list in my short memory. So that is like, I could have taken that out of my list of things to do. And I would suggest and call your delegate as a church, delegate your secretary and say, can you please call the other units first and see if they have this Foley catheters, if they have that, or even the anything you need. Try to see first. Make sure there's really nothing in your units, nothing in your closets or where you hide your other supplies, or and then ask other units if there is. And then when you're absolutely sure nobody could give you, because that's what we are also asked, is that did the other units have it before we go down and search for it. Because I know one time I was searching it for 30 minutes and I was like, oh, I could stay here in the materials management, get paid the amount of a supervisor and not do anything else but just hand out supplies. You know, sometimes it's you stay there a long time and it's freezing down there, it's cold, you know. So what else? So but don't hesitate. I don't, if you need anything, questions, I will try to answer your questions, and if not, I at least know who to ask, even if I have to call the directors at home or infectious control, especially with COVID, everything changes every time. Don't hesitate. We're here. We're at extension 6111. If you have no question, I mean, we cannot exchange questions right now, but stop one of us anytime, anything that come, you know, write them down, your questions, and ask the first supervisor that you see. Okay, thank you so much.